Welcome back to another Here for the Beer. For those of you who've watched for a while, you know that I'm a session beer fan. Big fan of beers that are flavorful and lower in alcohol, but breweries are more and more turning to the extreme beer, looking for the high alcohol stuff. So we were excited to find out about a session beer festival here in Boston. The Slow Fest premieres tonight, the first ever Boston Session Beer Festival, a festival with all beers under 4.5%. Let's check this thing out.
Focus on the session component, which is really starting to gain a lot of momentum and attention from the craft world. It's not anti-extreme, it's just another opportunity within the craft world. And it's something that we believe over the next 2 years is going to present itself more and more in the marketplace. So we felt it was a great opportunity to kind of look at that session market, bring it to the people in the form of a beer fest, because ironically at a lot of beer fests the emphasis tends to be on higher alcohol beers. And then also introduce the slow food component, which is another thing that kind of goes back to our publishing roots. We've always focused on local businesses first. Special attention goes to those that are locally sourced. We've written about and supported CSAs for quite some time, and we felt that it was a nice component to the kind of the lower speed of a session beer. Hence, Slow Fest.
Very cool.
What attracted to us to being a part of a beer festival, especially the Session Beer Festival, is that when I heard about session beers and we were told about the idea that it comes from the pub culture and the idea that you could sit down and actually enjoy a session, you could sit with your friends and enjoy your beer and not stand up and fall over from being intoxicated, and that feeling, that idea of sitting with your friends and enjoying food, enjoying company, is a lot of what slow food is about. You know, that's the exact opposite of fast food. You're actually taking your time, you're not stuffing your face with whatever you can get your hands on. Instead, you're thinking about where your food is coming from. You're enjoying the time that you're spending eating it. And so the idea of bringing together the food with the beer, and especially that kind of beer, was very interesting to us, and so that's why we're happy to be here.
Session beer is basically lower alcohol beer, but not lower flavor. There's kind of a misconception that on the lower end of the scale you lose out on a lot of the hoppiness and the flavor most associated with craft beer. Not the case. Session beer is about reminding the consumer that in fact the lower alcohol spectrum has as much flavor, if not more flavor, than some of the higher alcohol spectrum that's out there. And it's kind of amazing whether it's Stone or Victory or some of these brewers that are out there that are known for more of their higher alcohol offerings, what they have on that lower alcohol spectrum. Great flavored beer, great stuff under 5%. Really pay attention to what everybody here is brewing on the lower side.
So would you say a session beer 5% is the cutoff?
Well, no, there's no, if you ask the Brits or Europeans, they might say 4.5 or less. There is no consensus as to what a session is. We kind of drew the line at 4.9, but we allowed beers up to 5.9 because that's kind of the average ABV for a lot of the craft beer that's out there. So we wanted to be at that average point or less. For us, it's really anything less than 5, but some people will argue it's 5.5, others will say it's 4.5, some will even say it's anything under 4. I'm Jeff Lawrence from Slow Fest, and I'm here for the beer.